to Spiritual Minefield. Today we're going to look at demons of infirmity. We're going to look at here two passages, Luke 13 and Mark chapter 9. And we're going to see that sometimes when you're going through difficulty, a disability or a sickness or something, it could be demonically induced. You could be under trial by a demonic spirit. So let's look at these passages. So let's go to Luke chapter 13, and we're going to be starting in verse 10. And it says, one Sabbath, Jesus was teaching in one of the synagogues, and a woman there had been disabled by a spirit for 18 years. She was hunched over and could not stand up straight. When Jesus saw her, he called her over and said, "Woman, you are set free from your disability." Then he placed his hands on her, and immediately she straightened up and began to glorify God. But the synagogue leader was indignant that Jesus had healed on the Sabbath. "There are 6 days for work," he told the crowd, "so come and be healed on those days and not on the Sabbath." "You hypocrites," the Lord replied, "does not each of you on the Sabbath untie his ox or donkey from the stall and lead it to water? Then should not this daughter of Abraham, whom Satan has kept bound for 18 long years, this demon has been tormenting this woman by making her disabled, be released from her bondage on the Sabbath day?" When Jesus said this, all his adversaries were humiliated, and the whole crowd rejoiced at all the glorious things he was doing. So you see here that sometimes when you're going through a difficulty, you're disabled for whatever reason, your knee is messed up, you got something going on, some type of sickness, something, whatever. It could be demonically inspired. It could be something that the enemy is giving you, and God is allowing it to put you to the test, to see what type of faith you're going to have, to see if you're going to rely on the Lord or you're going to give up on your faith. And the enemy is hitting you this way to destroy your faith. That is the purpose of the enemy. So we're going to go here to the other passage. So Mark 9, now we're going to look at starting in verse 25. When Jesus saw that a crowd had come running, he rebuked the unclean spirit, "You deaf and mute spirit." Look what he calls the spirit, deaf and mute. So this demonic spirit, what he does, his specialty is to make people not hear and not speak. He said, "I command you to come out and never enter him again." And after shrieking and convulsing him violently, the spirit came out. The boy became like a corpse, so that many said, "He is dead." But Jesus took him by the hand and helped him to his feet, and he stood up. After Jesus had gone into the house, his disciples asked him privately, "Why couldn't we drive it out?" Jesus answered, "This kind cannot come out except by prayer." So that means that prayer is a powerful weapon. So if you're going through something difficulty, you gotta pray. You can't give up, because the Lord is not going to answer you immediately, but your persistent prayer, that's the type of prayer the Lord answers. So we have to go through testing, because testing does something. It strengthens your faith. It shapes you more into the image of Christ. So that's the reason why Jesus allows these types of trials and tribulation, because it helps you to grow in the faith. You become more Christ-like, and you will become more mature, where you're going to sin less and be more like Christ. So remember, sometimes when you're going through difficulty, meaning going through something physically, it could be a test. It could be something that's happening to you by the enemy. That's the time where you have to get closer to the Lord and seek him much more. Thank you for listening.